Hello there, my very good friends. On this wrestling news video, we'll tell you why WWE is about to drop a public apology.
A major AEW star is off the injured list.
WWE's approach with Triple H has been... No, not Triple H. Triple A, that'd be weird, has been met with heavy skepticism.
And we'll tell you how Ricochet almost joined the Hurt Syndicate.
I'm Andy Murray.
I'm Michael Hamflett.
And this is the news. And if you make a mistake during the introduction, you should just roll through it, man. It's totally fine. That's how we do it. Right. You know what you should also do when you make a mistake?
Go on.
Apologize.
Yeah.
WWE apparently considering and are expected to make a public apology for the Becky Lynch, Ozzy Osbourne thing, line, joke, whatever you want to call it, that made it to her promo on Monday Night Raw. If you somehow missed that, we made a whole video about it yesterday, but the gist of it was... So I'm not quoting this verbatim, but it was along the lines of the only good thing about... They were in Birmingham, England. The only good thing about Birmingham was Ozzy Osbourne, and he had the sense to move to Los Angeles. Yeah. And if I was from Birmingham, I'd die too. Basically what she said. Kelly Osbourne was, Ozzy's daughter, was upset at this and posted on Instagram calling them disrespectful dirtbags, which is her right. She's a grieving daughter. She can say what she wants as far as I'm concerned. But it garnered a lot of media attention, particularly here in the UK, because Ozzy was British, obviously. But now, apparently, WWE has been left embarrassed by this situation, according to Brian Alvarez on Wrestling Observer Live. He noted, of course, that Kelly is not happy. But also, I was told that WWE is embarrassed and they're probably going to do an apology. And they may not, but if you look back at how many times WWE actually apologized for something, it isn't many. And there's discussion about doing a public apology. I know they've talked about doing a private apology, which is kind of what, when we made the video about this yesterday, we spoke that would probably be quite likely.
Yeah.
A private thing. Public is a different matter, obviously. Alvarez gave his perspective on this. He said, I don't even really blame Becky, as I'm sure she didn't come up with it, but she did it. The people don't want to boo Becky. She really wants to be booed for whatever reason. I guess maybe it's fun. Probably isn't fun today. Lance Storm chimed in. Always a good source when, his obituaries are insane.
Legendary.
But Big Lance said, unless you have explicit permission from the family, I think using somebody's passing for cheap heat is bad. It just makes wrestling feel lowbrow and cheap when they do stuff like that, and I wish they wouldn't. I don't really disagree with anything they've said there, to be honest. I'm still curious as to where the line came from. It's not really answered in this report. Brian speculates on it a little bit, but we don't know if it was given to Becky by a writer or if she came up with it on the fly or came up with it herself. I'm sure she has a bit more leeway with promos than, say, someone who was just called up 6 months ago.
Yeah, definitely.
She's headlined WrestleMania. But at the same time, if it was given to her by a writer, then another question is, should she have challenged it? Up to you to decide on that one. But yeah, a bit of a messy situation, one that garnered a lot of PR, and I wouldn't have been surprised if yesterday afternoon Dr. Chris Legentle, PhD, was a very busy man in concocting what WWE were going to do next.
Yeah, as we're aggregating this, no apology has happened, but by the time you're watching it, maybe it has, and maybe you'll know more than we do about the nature of it. You're right, there's not a load of precedent for WWE kind of publicly acknowledging their flaws going back the last 30, 40 years, really. The trick has been to sort of never apologise and hope that the thing will just brush away. Who knows what goes on in the background? Obviously, we're not speaking about what happens privately, but typically, publicly, they just like these things to blow over. And look, maybe this one will. Maybe all the apologies will be done privately and to the people most affected by it. If that gets out, then we might hear about that separately. Or indeed, WWE or Becky Lynch or anybody that felt any kind of involvement with it. This might go as high up as someone like a Triple H even. Might just see it in their best interest to put something out that puts the fires out rather than continues to stoke the flames. We will see. But yeah, it isn't something I expected to be talking about today when we talked about it yesterday. That's historically not how these ones tend to go.
I honestly thought it would have, just because of the nature of public discourse, in 2025, things pass in an instant. Something's popping for 2 minutes and it's gone. I thought it would have kind of gone that way. I'm not saying it should or it shouldn't have, particularly when it comes to the family. I mean, the very least... If I was running the... And obviously I'm not. But the very least, the minimum I would do would be to reach out to the family
Yeah,
and say,
that's
we're
it.
sorry. How can we make this good? And take it from there. But situation they probably didn't foresee. Like, I mean, when I was watching the promo, I didn't think it would become this thing, but then I wasn't considering the perspective of Kelly and maybe Sharon and Jack and the rest of the family and stuff. So, yes, it's just a mess. But it is a mess that theoretically should be quite easy to solve.
Yes, hopefully.
Clean it up.
We'll see this nicely.
Get Kenny Omega and he'll just mop it up.
Yeah. Speaking of Kenny Omega, one of Kenny Omega's colleagues for change in AEW at the moment isn't going to be injured for too much longer. It's nice to be able to report the opposite of what we've had lately with some of the AEW's biggest stars. Orange Cassidy, if you've been wondering where he's been, he last wrestled in March and he's been persona non grata on television ever since. That's because he's been down with an injury. There was discussion of a torn labrum, but Bodyslam.net on Tuesday reported that he was off the injured list and Fightful Selective since corroborated that with their sources as well. Good to go now. Basically, ready to go whenever AEW want to use him. The Fightful Select report in particular noted that Cassidy will be back, quote, sooner than later, and is not expected to be out the remainder of the year unless he suffers any further setbacks. Obviously, torn labrums, muscles, things like that are absolutely no joke, and wrestlers have then gone on to re-injure themselves, and Cassidy deceptively has had a longer in the business than you might think, just because he's only kind of been a big TV star for the last 6 years.
Or something.
He's put the years in, he's got the miles on the clock. Saw Orange Cassidy backstage at Sweet Chin Disco this weekend, hanging with the AEW guys.
Did he have his hands in his pockets?
He did not. He was incredibly chilled, so I don't think that character strays too far away from the man himself. But yeah, like looked. This is the thing. He looked like Orange Cassidy.
Yeah,
I think he's kind of looked like Orange Cassidy for the longest time now. Yeah. That's the vibe out of him. But it'd be brilliant to see him back. This could be really good timing for an Orange Cassidy. Somebody that, due to a bunch of different reasons, but has always found himself slightly below that tip-top spot in AEW, despite runs where it's felt like he was smashing the glass ceiling. Now, with the likes of Will Ospreay and with Swerve Strickland and Kenny Omega you mentioned there before, but several other of the top line kind of needing to slow down and hold back a little bit. This could be the perfect time for him to maybe
get on the elevator,
push through a little bit. I think he's been terribly missed. He was, if you recall, one of the first true victims of the Death Riders. He was one of the first people to put his head above the parapet and say, "I'll fight yous," and then he kicked his ass. I'd welcome Orange Cassidy back, as early as tonight on Dynamite if you could.
Yeah, there are slots right now for baby faces to ascend and occupy. Darby Allin is obviously still healthy. Hangman Page is the top babyface in the territory by virtue of being the world champion especially. But there's room. It's a really good time for someone like Orange Cassidy or an Eddie Kingston to come back in and find themselves immediately in a big spot. Kind of, obviously he didn't time it this way. He didn't decide, I'm going to be healthy by August. No. But it has worked out extremely well in terms of the window of his recovery. It would be harder to gain traction if Swerve and Will were still there or not taking time off for their injuries, just because they're huge stars in AEW. Orange Cassidy is one of the AEW success stories. Obviously, he was doing the gimmick long before AEW existed, right? So it's not like they created him or anything like that.
No.
But in terms of coming in as something of like a cult favorite from the indies, gaining that level of renown, coming out to TV and getting super over in his first match with Pac.
Had to sort of talk down a lot of haters, didn't he, as well?
Yeah.
Had a bunch of people that jumped into conclusions with him and they didn't get it or whatever, but
Yeah, absolutely. And my favorite thing about Orange Cassidy is that the gimmick is quite gimmicky. It's obviously quite loud. It's not loud, it's quiet, but it's heavily gimmicked, right? The hands in the pockets, the lazy kicks, when it's very overt. But I've never seen this man violate the base level of psychology of pro wrestling.
No.
He's not just some silly meme.
No.
Where he does the kicks, they don't hurt people, they're a taunt.
He's closer to The Undertaker than a lot of people give credit for.
Man.
If you could buy The Undertaker as moving slow because of a zombie or doing things and it just been a different kind of power, Orange Cassidy is sort of that same contemporary figure.
Yeah. When does he ever do anything that violates wrestling psychology?
Yeah.
He does the silly little kicks. They're a wind-up. They're a taunt. No one sells them. It would be different if he hit the slow kicks on Lance Archer and Lance Archer fell over selling them.
Machines!
Yeah. That'd be different.
Yeah.
But I'm a huge believer in Orange Cassidy and his success.
When he lets you in as a babyface as well, or when he shows that sort of fire or fight, it always goes over huge because he's held back on it and he's been patient with it.
Exactly.
Love that, like that mid-card title run. When it was what was it called at the time? The Atlantic? I can't remember. You know the one I'm talking about.
Intergalactic.
The Intergalactic title run he had in 2023. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
And look, he has history with Jon Moxley, and they have great matches together. Do it again. Do that again.
Yeah.
Moxley's an animal at the moment. His vibes are 200% back. He's just figured it out.
Feeling good,
he has made himself the nastiest horror movie villain in the world. Great stuff from him. I'd like to see that match again. They just announced Moxley versus Garcia for Dynamite tonight, which could be interesting, given recent character dynamics. Right, shall we talk about AAA, Mr. Iguana's... he books it, obviously. My guy.
Love that guy.
Iggy. But yeah, so...
Iggy Huge Puff.
That's his name. The Triple Mania show happened the other week. It was a very notable show in that... I don't know if you saw any of it. It felt like a WWE show with different wrestlers. It felt largely indistinct. Although I did love watching my man almost kicking Micro Man's ass. It was just tremendous stuff.
Pick on someone your own shin size.
Yeah. Not saying it was a bad show. It was very WWE coded.
Right.
It was like watching an episode of Raw with different logos and different wrestlers. Nick Khan gave a bit of a backstage speech at this event saying, don't worry guys, we're not going to change anything we're not going to change AAA from what it is. Understandably, this has been met with a heavy degree of skepticism, according to Fightful Select, but not disdain, they say. Now, apparently, multiple sources have said they feel like WWE has already kind of planted their flag in AAA, and their heavy influence was shown at Triple Mania. I mean, just watch the show. It was pretty clear there was a WWE produced show. None of those people that reached out to Fightful had any issue with the changes that were made, basically. Fightful they've noted as well recently that The Undertaker's been backstage booking the territory.
What?
Not booking the territory, but he's been around helping out.
Give it time.
I think it's extremely funny. He's a very influential figure backstage, of course. He has a 15-year contract that he signed when WWE were afraid he was going to do Starcast and leave. That was what a weird period that was.
Got 15 years deal with AAA.
Yeah. The dead man's going over Micro Man.
Pardew got that deal off Newcastle.
It's like 8 years or something.
We want you for 8 years just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, just in case you go anywhere, Pardiola. So that worked out well. I'm sure but the key is he's there for Undertaker's got a huge contract. They're going to use him to do stuff, and this is one of them. It's a complicated issue, right? This AAA thing. I think that before WWE bought AAA was the worst mainstream wrestling product in the. It was garbage, hot garbage, right? To me, it was a miracle. It was still viable. Right. Not good, not a good show at all. Before WWE bought it, WWE have now bought it. I think it's inarguable that it's a better show. It's
because of the low bar.
Yeah, the low bar, and there's a higher floor to WWE shows than there was AAA's just rubbish product.
Yeah.
So it's a better show. It's also a more gentrified show, and it's a more homogenous show in that it feels largely indistinct from other WWE productions now, which I think is a bad thing. I think that regardless of me thinking it sucks ass, other people probably thought it rocked.
Yeah.
And there should be more variety, and we should embrace variety. I don't think that things becoming more like other things is good. I don't think the business shrinking is good. Not just from a worker's perspective of having fewer places to work and increasing the power of these promotions, but also imagine going down the ice cream shop and every flavor is vanilla. Yeah. If you like vanilla, that's probably great. But what about the other customers? What about the other people? I think that wrestling should be, there should be things that cater to everyone, including stuff that I personally don't like. That should still exist because taste is subjective. I don't believe in the objective quality of art. I think anyone who makes that argument is silly. I just don't agree with it. I think that everything is subjective when it comes to the quality of output. So if I think it sucks, someone else might think it rocks. Look, WWE's goal is going to be to homogenize this thing. Nick Khan's speaking out of his ass, obviously.
Of course.
And I don't think that's good. I think it should be a vibrant color palette.
This may surprise people who have listened to my nonsense on this channel for several years now. I don't want more Fed outside of the Fed. I want as much Fed as I can possibly shove in my big fat gob on Mondays, Fridays, Tuesdays, quarterly Saturdays,
Saturday or
Sundays.
Sunday.
I want it. I want it. Everything with the WWE brand, I want to watch it. I want to consume it. Give me more. I don't wish for it outside of the walls of WWE. Like, I was kind of raised by the WWE that was like, don't watch any of the wrestling, God, switch it off. Right? I sort of discovered that on my own.
Yeah.
But in discovering it on my own, I discovered what I liked about stuff that wasn't Fed. Right? I've never particularly supported the TNA business agreement. I support it even less considering the obvious cynical overtones to it and what they're attempting to do, and just how thick some people are to go along with this idea that TNA can be a number 2 promotion and a competitor to AEW. Get lost with that absolute crap, right? And all it served to do is dilute NXT. And all it served to do, if you're a massive TNA purist, I would assume, is kind of feel like you're just having your show steamrolled by a bunch of, again, that WWE type stuff.
It's being used as a pawn in a culture war that they had nothing to do with.
Yeah. Like, and whether or not you sort of agree or disagree, like, I find it hard to argue that that's exactly what's happening, and both products are suffering for it if you prefer one or the other, and I certainly do, and I can assume the TNA fans out there do as well. The AAA thing feels like it's going down the exact same route for the various reasons. It also feels like, to me, echoing a lot of the attempted and mostly successful homogenisation of the British scene back when this was booming over here in 2016. And I'm saying that as somebody that wasn't even a BritWres fan, but it was undeniable that the boom was occurring. Like, I didn't want to go just because it was on my doorstep, but it was definitely happening on my doorstep, multiple nights a week. Bunch of wrestlers were getting work, then they dressed up 16 Peaky Blinders on the stage and said, we're not going to break the business. And what happened? They broke the business. RevPro survives to this day because it was one of the few companies in the UK that decided not to get into bed with WWE, whereas every single other company that did either suffered, either experienced setbacks, either pretty much had to start again.
Name one of those companies that is as prominent today as it was 5-6 years ago.
Exactly.
Name one.
Like, it is not complicated stuff to go back and read and see what's happening. It's almost funny to assume that, like, WWE won't do business the WWE way when every single time they say, it's not going to be like it was the last time. And it's always like it was the last time. They are the market leader for many reasons. One of them is because of the stuff they do like this.
Yeah.
Get your head out of your ass.
You really hate the Fed, Phil.
Well, yeah, this is my problem. It's my cross to bear.
Couple of we're probably AEW marks for this story here.
I've been Dr. Dub since 1985, day I was born, when I watched the first AEW WrestleMania from Madison Square Garden. No, I don't care. I'm with you for entirely different reasons. I do want a gazillion different lanes because I just like my WWE to be WWE again. I haven't seen Triple Mania yet because I have no interest in it other than from like a professional capacity if we were covering it for work. Don't need it, don't want it.
That's the beauty. That's the beauty of it, Phil. You can pick and choose. And if these options don't exist and wrestling fans only have one or two choices, that sucks. Yeah. And it's going to run fans off. Stop homogenizing stuff.
Agree.
Just let things exist. Although, you know, they want to put CMLL out of business, don't they? They want to sign all their wrestlers and then go, hey, look, we've got the monopoly in Mexico now. It's brutal stuff. It's brutal stuff. But this is the reality of the business. We're going to get shouted at today already. Michael.
Be nice in the comments when you're disagreeing with us. But be nice to AEW if you're a Hurt Syndicate guy because things are going pretty well for them at the moment, despite the politics.
If you're not nice to them, they will hurt you.
They'll hurt people. And they hurt Ricochet in that really funny promo that time when they had him up by the neck and rescinded the offer, which has kind of justified why Ricochet has now attacked them and screwed them out of the tag team titles. MVP has kind of explained that situation and why maybe there was a little bit of pivot along the way. He was speaking on the Marking Out with MVP and Dwayne Swayze podcast, and basically he did as good as confirm that Ricochet was in the plans to be part of the original Hurt Syndicate. You remember they issued in the card before they tore it up. And he actually references a few moving pieces at the time that would have brought Ricochet into the fold. He said, quote, because Cedric Alexander was still under contract, we were coming over at the time, we were still negotiating a lot of pieces. Yes, obviously a member of the Hurt business, Cedric Alexander has subsequently not gone on to join the Hurt Syndicate. He goes on, we're like, okay, we're going to reunite, but Ricochet is going to have that spot. In our business, we have a saying, card subject to change. We did that spot in the ring with Bobby when he snatched you up like that, and that was supposed to have been where we start initiating Ricochet and where his character changes. He goes and he becomes, I hurt people, but sometimes things happen organically. His career path went a completely different way, and selfishly, I wanted him in the Hurt Syndicate, but I dare say it, things worked out better for you as they are. Yeah, Ricochet still did go on to turn heel and did become violent, and he was, out of insecurity, if nothing else, he added the laugh, he attacked people with scissors. He found his way, did Ricochet, from that early, difficult babyface bedding in period, but no longer as obviously a part of the group, and now he's going on to feud with them. I guess we will find out whose side MJF's on in all this. Who's zooming who between those two stables as well. No Ricochet in the Hurt Syndicate. And I guess, per this, maybe no Cedric Alexander, because you feel like that might have happened now.
I feel like that ship has probably sailed. Because Cedric's been free for a while.
Yeah.
And he's done good work. Like, on the indies, he's been in DPW, which is my favourite promotion. Just because you all know I'm a big hipster guy. But no, I love DPW.
I've heard Nick Khan's going in there next week to say, look, nothing's going to change about DPW.
Yeah,
to help.
He probably is. Hey, LeBron Cozone, would you like a 12-year contract, sir? I'm not averse to that. He rules. But yeah, leave my little indies, leave my companies alone, Nick Khan. Okay, this worked out for the best. He's right. The Ricochet character is really good. He's a little dork. He's a violent little dork who, like you say, acts out of insecurity, does these violent acts, gets really in over his head, and then gets beat. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. It's like an upper mid-card good character that people can beat on the way to the top and stuff like that. He plays it really well. He's really obnoxious in it. Like, he trademarked the word bald. I don't know how he did that, but he's done it. Shout outs to him. We need more bald positivity in this world.
Shout out to Cultaholic, so I'll aggregate that by saying, man who cannot grow hair atop his head, trademarks the word bald.
Follically challenged fellow. It's good stuff. So yeah, this worked out for the best because that character does not fit the Hurt Syndicate at all.
No.
These big, cool, imposing dudes. They're not walking around going, ha ha! Yeah, they're not doing the Jadakiss laugh.
That's right, it was open auditions for a bit, wasn't it? Like the card went to a lot of different people. Like Mercedes Moné got a card at one point.
I think she did, I think she did. This definitely worked out for the better. I like both of them. I like the Hurt Syndicate and I like Ricochet. I just think that they are better apart because of the way the characters have worked. I'm a even bigger of the fan of the Hurt Syndicate since they became backstage politicians, allegedly.
It's funny, isn't it? It's good stuff, this, man.
Did you see the video they made with Mike Bailey after the rumour that MVP hated Mike Bailey specifically? How could you hate Mike Bailey?
just this idea that, like...
They were like, F you.
Shelton just already getting his clothes back on to go out for the night as he's hearing the bell ring in the tag title match that he was a part of.
Yeah.
It's funny stuff.
Yeah,
you gotta laugh.
You gotta laugh.
We beat people, or we don't lose to people.
I love it.
Yeah.
You know what? A lot of people, we've already pissed a bunch of people off. Let's go all in. A lot of people in this day and age think that because somebody wins a lot, that they are burying people, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people think that someone winning 20 matches in a row is Hogan behavior. Just after this Forbidden Door pay-per-view, a bunch of people were calling Tony Storm Tony Hogan. It's completely mental.
You are kidding me.
Nope, I am absolutely not.
This has got to stop.
Go on Twitter, search it, it's right
Sammy
there.
Hogan, Rhea Hogan, Becky Hogan, Tony Hogan.
Yeah.
This has got to
Tony
go.
Hogan.
That is the reddest of reddest flags that person's takes cannot be trusted.
Exactly. This is called push, my friends.
Oh, man.
This is called a push. And I tell you what, the Hurt Syndicate do not lose matches. When Brody King and Bobby Lashley got in that ring at Forbidden Door, did you hear the pop? Mm-hmm. Did you hear the, oh my goodness? That tells you the AEW and the protection of the Hurt Syndicate and maybe the Hurt Syndicate's protection of themselves backstage.
In that way.
That tells you that it has worked.
Yeah.
You hear an entire building of people going, we hurt people. It has worked.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever is going on, whoever's making these calls, whoever's saying, I don't want to lose to this guy, but I'll lose to this guy, only if we're out of the ring. Whatever's going on, it's working. This is called a push. This is how wrestling has been for decades. Yeah. We need to get away. This idea that everyone needs to go 50-50 and everyone needs to go over and all of this stuff.
Sick of Cody Hogan, mate. Sick of him.
Yes.
Roman Hogan.
Roman Hogan. Yeah. Jay Hogan.
Brother.
Gunther Hogan. Well, what's the funniest one we could probably do? CM Hogan.
Liv Hogan.
Liv Hogan. Raquel Rod Hogan.
Mr. Hogan, Mr. Iguana. He's got the Hulk Hogan puppet on his shoulder that he knocks off.
Oh, who else can we get? I have no idea. Carlander Hogan.
Gallus Hogan.
Gallows Hogan. Gallows Hogan.
Gallows Hogan.
Yeah, there you go. Let us know your favourite Hogans in the comment section below. Kira Hogan, probably.
Paul
Respect.
Hogan, Crocodile Dundee.
Let us know what you think of everything in the world. And here is a random list. The my goodness, this chair. The channel thinks you're going to love.
It's getting pushed by the algorithm, so it's List Hogan.
Yeah, List Hogan.
Yeah.
Bye, Hogan.